Hello everyone, my name is Chris, owner of AAA Dog Training. What we're going to talk about today in this video is about leadership. So in order to do that, we're going to look at it through the eyes of a dog. So if we start from when a dog is born, they are starting to experience things that are brand new in life. And when they're with the other pups when they're with their mom, because it's a perfect relationship, dogs don't miscommunicate with each other, so it's a perfect relationship. As that puppy starts to experience sounds and smells and sights and feeling vibration in the ground or whatever it might be, those puppies are looking to the mom to know what to do and what's expected of them. And the reason why that's important to understand is because that's what a dog does through its whole life. Dogs only have 3 worries in life, and only 3, remember. What's expected of me, where am I safe, and where's my next meal? So when the puppy is starting to grow up and it has its mom, it's in a perfect relationship because there is no miscommunication. And when something happens, depending on the dog's nerve structure, is going to determine whether or not they look to the mom. Was that a threat? Is this prey? Can we go after this? Whatever it might be, whatever the rules are, to the puppies, it's perfect because the mom doesn't waver. The mom lets them know if they think that something is scary and she doesn't show any signs of threat, they might run to her, but she's not adding to it. Now, once the puppy gets to be that 7, 8, 9 weeks old, that's when we introduce them into the life of a person. And so you get your puppy, you get in the vehicle, and you're heading home. Now, once you're in the vehicle, depending on, again, the quality of the dog's nerve structure, if they're unclear or uncertain what's going on, remember in their mind, the minute you get in that car, they're wondering, am I safe here? What's expected of me? So when you're driving with them or you're going home, especially if you're holding them and we see them shaking or they're whining and we're trying to make them feel better, we're doing it with the understanding of our human reasoning, which is what we would, again, do with our child, which is to try to comfort them and reason with them. But the dog doesn't understand. They don't know our intentions in this. All they're hearing is maybe the inflection of our voice, you're okay, which is saying what's going on in your mind and what you're doing right now and feeling is correct. So on top of it, we're holding them, we're probably petting them and massaging them, which is more affection, which is, again, letting them know that not that they're okay, that's what we intend, but we're actually praising, again, the action and the frame of mind they're in. The female in the litter, the mom in the litter, doesn't ever do that. If there's no threat, she acts like there's no threat. She's not over there trying to coddle her puppies. So as time goes and we get our dogs into new situations and we think now we got to socialize, which a lot of people think is just taking them out and doling them up to the environment and giving them as much experience as possible. And to an extent, that's true, but it's not the complete picture of it. So when you have a situation where your dog is experiencing all these new things in life and we are not communicating to them like we should, we are now promoting behaviors like barking and whining, running to us and trying to maybe jump on our body for safety. The reason why we talk about dogs that don't have solid nerve structures is because if you have a dog with a completely solid nerve structure, this is not something that you necessarily have to worry about. But majority of the dogs out there, it's rare I get dogs in for training because they're nice dogs. I get dogs in for training because they're normally barking at people, or they're hard to handle, or they're nipping at people, or they're running away at everything, or maybe they are super confident with tons of drive and the people just know how to harness that. So when it comes down to being the proper leader you need to be for your dog, you have to understand why your dog's doing what it's doing. But you also, most importantly, have to understand how to communicate to them in a way that they understand and respect of what behavior is acceptable and what isn't. So when we're talking about seeing the world through the eyes of a dog, anytime they come up with something new, they are looking to you. And so that's where we get into the importance of what real leadership is. So let's go back to the wolf. Okay, so if you have a pack of wolves, you're going to have the alpha. Now the alpha is everything to the rest of the pack. He's the one that tells them when they're going to go hunt. So he's satisfying the food aspect. He's the one telling them what's expected of them right now. They're either hunting, tracking, or migrating, and he sets when they're going to be doing all of that. And then if they get into a situation or something is new, they're looking to him. Are we safe? How he handles himself is going to determine how they handle the situation. So let's take, for example, and I don't know if I've used this example yet in any of the other videos, but say that you're in some type of town that is really well known for crime, high crime and shooting and things like that, and you're by yourself and you have to walk down a street that's a mile long and you know what you could possibly run into. The weight of responsibility on your shoulders is incredibly great because you're solely relying on yourself for your own safety. So there's going to be a whole lot of stress and it's going to be, it could possibly be a pretty awful situation. Now, say then you have somebody who is specially trained. Say you take one of our special forces. So they're specially trained, they've got all their gear on, they're loaded for bear, and they look at you and they say, okay, I'm gonna get you through this. When you start walking, because of their leadership skills, or you're gonna realize that after a while, you may still be a little tense, but yet now you're starting to watch this person and you're looking and you're seeing that they're walking confident, that there isn't anything that they're showing signs of that's a threat yet. And so you start to relax. And in that process, you're starting to get the idea of what a dog needs out of its owner. So when you're walking down that street and all of a sudden, if the person that you're behind starts to crouch down, maybe start to walk differently, speed up, slow down, whatever it might be, your senses are immediately going to be like, oh, what's going on? Is there a threat? And so the reason why I use this as an example is because this is, in reality, what your dog is going through in life. And it's up to us to learn how to become the leader we need to be for our dog, so that way we can give them the best life possible. We get dogs for one reason. Well, we should get dogs for one reason, and that is to invite them into all aspects of our life. And so that way we can enjoy them, they can have a wonderful experience, but ultimately we got them for us. We didn't get our dogs so we could live our life around them. We got our dogs so we can invite them, incorporate them into the different aspects of our lives. You take on that responsibility of becoming the leader you need to be for your dog. And it's not done through making your dog sit before you feed it, or making them wait before you walk out of a door, or telling them to lay down 1,000 times because they're just getting up when they want to. That's not leadership. Leadership is knowing how to provide 3 things. Food's a no-brainer, okay? Where's my food? That's a no-brainer. What's expected of me in this situation? How can you let a dog know that if you don't know how to communicate to them? Learn how to communicate to them in a way that they understand and respect. And where am I safe? When you walk into a situation and you can see that your dog is stressed, walk strong. Be that leader that your dog needs to be. Be the special forces that's walking you down that path or down that road that is letting you know when there's a threat and when there isn't. Now, the great thing about our lives is the majority of the time, there is no real threat. So therefore, if you see your dog where you think they're acting protective, they're not if that's not a real threat. If you're not being attacked, there's no real threat. So your dog shouldn't be acting like there is one. Learn to be strong. Learn how to read your dog's behavior. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to be that leader you need to be for your specific dog so they can have the best life possible. Create that black and white life. These are the responsibilities that you took when you got them. So with all that said, dogs are meant to be a blessing to your family. Gain control, invite them into all aspects of your life. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.